Every culture has a name. In America, they call it inks, or they call it overthinking, or they call it worry. In Africa, there's a name. In French and English, there's always a name for it. But your thoughts are tricky. It's interesting, right? Because there's almost two yous. There's the thoughts that you see every day. When you walk into a room, you're like, oh, they're judging me. They're thinking about me. I'm not good enough here. All these things, and we have all these names for these different thoughts. If you start something new and you have thoughts of doubt, we call it like imposter syndrome. If you have thoughts of like worry and stress, we call it anxiety, things like that. The fight of our lives is controlling our thoughts. And I want to tell you guys that you're not your thoughts, because someone is listening to your thoughts for you to understand that you're having thoughts. If I'm having a thought right now of me falling asleep, me being tired, the fact that I can consciously see that thought means that I'm the person that is observing the thought. And the thoughts are just like intruders. So the way you deal with thoughts is by observing them. And it's easier said than done, but you have to doubt every thought, because your thoughts will lead you astray. To doubt your thoughts, you have to trust your intuition. They're always going to be there. You can't control them, but you can observe them. Sometimes, like if you play a sport, or if you're creative, or if you're a singer, a dancer, if you like to Zumba, whatever it is, sometimes you get into what we call flow state. I know Kobe Bryant, before he died, he talked about flow state. When he's playing, he's dunking on dudes, but he's not thinking about it. His body is just moving. He's letting infinite intelligence take over. You want to live in that way. Kids almost don't think about thoughts. They take things as they go. They allow life to happen. Maybe you were 6 or 7. They told you that you were worthless, or you couldn't amount to anything, or let's say they said you were fat or ugly. Maybe you were at the time, but that became your identity. Now you're always that fat kid. So whenever someone says, hey buddy, where'd you get that shirt? You're thinking they're calling you fat. You're thinking that they're saying that the shirt is too big, but they may like the shirt. You listen to a thought and it became your identity. It's a paradigm that's playing in your head. And everyone has them. We all have them. I have them. But the key is like being able to realize and recognize those paradigms we have playing. When you let go of those paradigms, you become the real you. That's it. If you want to deal with your thoughts, first thing is to understand that there's nothing wrong with you. It's just that you listened to a thought that told you that you were anxious, that you were depressed, that you were ugly, that you were fat, that you were skinny fat. I gotta make some light to this, because it really isn't that serious. And I fall into all kinds of crazy thoughts too. I was in New York the other day and someone like was pushed in front of a train car. And I was like, wow, what really happened there is like, yeah, they'll call the guy evil and they'll say he was whatever, wicked, and he had schizophrenia and all kinds of junk. But what that really was that the guy was sitting there in front of a train, he saw someone else, and then he had the thought that said, oh, push him in front of the train. And he obeyed that thought and he acted it out. And now he's in prison for life. Sometimes you want to try something new. You want to try a new sport or a new hobby, or you want to sing, something you've always had a hunch to do, but your thoughts are saying, oh, they're going to judge you. Your friends are going to not like you anymore. You're not going to make any money doing this. Your parents are going to say X, Y, Z. Your girl's going to leave you. You're going to get in trouble. No, if your intuition is telling you something, listen to your intuition. I'm telling you, you can do anything if you just allow your spirit to take over, allow your intuition to take over. So that's how we doubt thoughts, boys and girls. We sit there, we watch them, we separate ourselves. We don't identify with them. We just watch them like we're watching a movie.